Ho, ho, ho! Come in and know me better, man. Welcome to Keep It Weird, the podcast for all things strange and unusual, jolly and joyous, festive and merry, and everything in between. Every week we get together to chat about all things weird, but today is our Season 7 finale. We have made it through another year together, and it is time to party. Today we are drinking some Christmas cocktails and celebrating Yule with stocking-stuffed episode full of the season's pagan traditions, ways to make your holidays a little more witchy, Yuletide games, and even some classic Christmas scares. So hang your stockings with care, light the Yule log, and don your gay apparel. It's time to get in the spirit. My name is Ashley, and this is my co-host and Santa's little helper, Lauren.
Hello, weirdos! Happy holidays! Happy holidays!
Happy holidays!
The way your eyes just rolled back in your head. I wasn't ready. Cheers.
I'm so sorry. And joining us today is a very special guest, our resident Green Witch and Krampus's little helper, Laura LAREAU.
Hi, keep it weird, keep it weird, keep it freaking weird. Hey, weirdos.
Yay,
We
Laura.
are totally in the Christmas spirits.
So excited to be here. Merry Yule, happy winter solstice, everybody.
Merry Yule,
Yes.
Blessed Yule. I was trying to think the other day if it's Happy Yule, Merry Yule, or Blessed Yule.
Yeah, I think it's both. You know,
I think you could do all of it.
Whatever
Merry
you're feeling.
Christmas, Happy Christmas in Europe.
Yeah, that's true.
We also have things that
So
jingle
true.
on our heads, which is fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you hear any jingle jangling, it could be us or it could be Santa Claus.
Ho, ho, ho.
No one's sure.
Nobody's sure. You know what I thought of?
How many Christmas references can we fit? Yes.
Can we fit in the intro? I was thinking how we keep saying like, get ready to party. And we all were like so excited about making our cocktails because we can't meet in person, but we are technically like, we are a business here at Keep It Weird. This is our holiday party. No, everyone has their
This is
end
our
of year
holiday
party.
Yeah.
This is ours. We deserve
I'm so
this
excited.
celebration. Laura, you're here. I mean, you're
I
on
didn't think I
staff.
was going to go to an end of year party. This is perfect. Oh, I love it. It's the best
This
job
is
I've
our
ever had.
staff party. Pretty soon Amy will pop
I
in.
know.
Joe will pop in.
Everybody who
That would be
records.
fantastic.
Julia's gonna pop in.
Yeah.
That would be fun. That would have been a good idea,
Well,
but some of us
sorry.
don't know how to plan.
Shouldn't have
things.
brought it up.
Honestly,
Anyway,
this is the best holiday party I've ever been to. I
Truly.
can wear sweatpants on the bottom. It's great. I didn't have to drive. I'm not going to get
You're
cornered by any creeps from work. It's great.
Yeah.
We love
You're not gonna
this.
have to talk to your drunk boss.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Gross.
Well, we have a ton of cool Christmas treats for you today, so let's jump right into it. I'm starting out with a segment that you all know and love. What if God was one of us? What if God was one of us is the segment where we bring in all of our burning questions about religion. And today we're going to get a little woo-woo with the good book, with the Bible. I wanted to talk about, I don't know if anyone's ever stopped to think about this, but I wanted to talk about how the wise men that visited Jesus on the night of his birth in regards to the Bible, because they were pagan and no one brings it up.
Were they?
Yes,
I mean,
they were pagan men.
they were pagan men. Is it like, well, and I feel like the fact that they brought gold, frankincense, and myrrh, like, doesn't it feel like they were trying to like do a spell? They were basically like, here are
Yeah,
some
right?
crystals.
Don't worry. I'll get to the
Honestly,
frankincense,
if somebody brought
the
me
gold,
that,
and the
I'd be
myrrh.
like, oh my God, thank you.
Thank
Oh my
you.
God, thank
You've
you.
truly
What a
blessed
beautiful
my
Yule.
life.
What a nice gift.
So, there are only really 2 gospels out of the 4 in the Bible that tell us anything about the birth of Jesus in the first place. Matthew and Luke. Matthew specifically takes great care to point out how the birth and early life of Jesus fulfilled various prophecies about the Messiah from the Old Testament. But nowhere in the Old Testament or in Matthew's research can you find a prophecy about these strange people from the East that showed up with gifts to worship this child. And when you look at it, the term wise men was translated from the word magi, which we all know, gift of the magi. Sometimes, not so much in like modern, but I know like Catholic churches still use the term magi over wise men.
I remember hearing it like a couple times, and I grew up Lutheran,
Yeah.
so yeah, like it's there.
Same. We went to the same Christian Lutheran
Convention.
conference in 2006.
In Orlando, Florida.
Beautiful Orlando, Florida.
How special.
We could have met and we didn't even know it.
Did
We could have been
not.
in a prayer circle together and we didn't even know.
No,
Wild.
because everybody was lame at that place, so I know I didn't meet you.
Oh,
Yeah, that's true. That place sucked. Anyways.
That place sucked.
So the Magi was basically at the time, the Greek word, it meant Babylonian priest or scholar who was especially acquainted with the study and interpretation of stars. They were astrologers who believed in dreams and visions and eating mushrooms and
Fabulous.
connecting with the earth. Like, they were super woo-woo people. And like today we would call them shamans, seers, mediums even. But back then they were called magi, and they were pagan priests who were coming to see Jesus Christ. And they learned of his birth through astrology. They were literally just following the behavior of the stars, and it was the stars themselves that told them someone very important and significant was coming to earth. They did not read scriptures. They were not Jewish. They were just following the stars, and that's how they got there.
I love that.
And I think it's fucking weird that we never talk about it.
Oh man, that's so cool. Yeah, I had no idea like
that.
where they're from or what they did or
Yep.
what their names were, like Ted and Joe and
Ted,
Barney.
Joe, and Bob, the three
Bob.
wise
They're
men.
just the three dudes that we would put up in our manger
Right?
scene growing up. They were just three guys in different
I
colored
would play with
robes.
them in the manger scene until
So
my
did
mom told
I.
me stop that.
I always loved the one in the purple robe. He was the coolest, and he was holding something in
you like
gold.
Who doesn't
purple.
want a purple robe?
But-
as I say, he had a purple robe and like a cheetah fur like trim around it, and I was just like,
They were fabulous,
Yeah.
okay?
They were so
They were
They
fabulous
showed
men.
up for that birth. Like they were like, we have arrived. What did
They
y'all
did.
bring? Nothing? Okay.
Well, and actually, not to ruin anyone's like beautiful Christmas manger display, but it's actually more likely that they found Jesus living in a house when he was about 2.
Well, sure.
Not that they aligned it so perfectly that they showed up for his birth, but they did make it.
They did. I actually
They
was
just
going
didn't
to
show
talk
up that
about this
night.
a little later, but I think they show up 12 days later, according to Christmas lore.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, because they show up 12 days later because it mirrors the 12 days of Yule. So, like, Yule already existed, and on the winter solstice, you celebrated the 12 days afterwards, and that was the 12 days of Yule. So when they decided to designate December 25th as Jesus's birthday, they added on, they're like, and then it took 12 days for the wise men to show up. So a lot of people still celebrate those 12 days after Christmas until like January 6th, and they call that the Epiphany. And that's when supposedly the wise men got there. Fashionably late as usual.
11.
Listen, no witch is going to be exactly on time all the time.
Right?
Okay?
I know. Fashionably late.
Fashionably late and fashionable.
Well, they're trying to rely on the stars to tell them when to be there, so their timing's a little
right.
off.
That's true. They did not have GPS.
Take some time.
It's
Take
not
some
precise.
time.
It's not precise. They were
exact.
just looking at the sky.
Sorry, guys.
There probably weren't 3 of them either. A lot of people held on to the 3 part because of the gold, frankincense, and myrrh that they brought, but no one ever actually says there were 3 men, just that they were magi, which is just a plural Greek word. So we know that there was more than 1 and probably more than 3, but we don't actually know how many there were. We don't even know if they were all men. They could have been female priests at the time, especially if they were pagan, which they were. When it comes to, like you were saying earlier, Lauren, the gold, frankincense, and myrrh, so Christians have sort of symbolized it as the frankincense referred to Jesus being the ultimate prophet or priest, because frankincense was often used to perfume the temples at the time. Gold symbolized he was the king of the universe, and myrrh was used in funeral proceedings a lot, which foreshadowed Christ's death, which is not the best birthday present.
Bummer. Yeah, to be the guy that shows up with
bummer.
myrrh.
I'm going to bring you the myrrh because I can see what's going to happen to you later.
That would be like me buying an urn for my parents and being like, every time you look at this,
or buying an urn for a baby shower gift and going like, well, you'll need it eventually.
Eventually, the child will die.
Oh my gosh.
Trying to make sure you guys are prepared.
It's a horrible present, but I actually think it's more witchy, like you were saying. Like the Magi, if the Magi believed that a highly enlightened being was coming to the earth, these would actually be really excellent gifts for him to work with spiritually, because myrrh is often used for spiritual opening. Frankincense is the perfect incense to use during meditation and energy work and chakra exercises, especially if you're trying to open your third eye. And gold is something that we learned about this year when I did that book report for the Patreon. It's a theory that John Keel prescribes to in the Eighth Tower, that gold was so important to rituals involving the afterlife and so crucial for priests and kings because it's an incredibly conductive material. And if whatever is over there could send its energy to our side and manifest or communicate with us, using crowns made of gold or even thrones made of gold would potentially be a really good way to do it.
That's super cool.
I know, it is very cool.
I really want to start wearing more gold, I guess.
I know. I feel like I'm always such a fake
Take
silver
notes,
gown.
Friends and family. I want gold for Christmas this year.
Take notes. I would like a crown of gold for my rituals.
Yes, please.
Need some gold. You know what? This Christmas song now makes so much sense to me, thinking of basically the three wise men being witches. Said the night wind to the little lamb, do you hear what I hear? Do you guys know that one?
What I hear?
And it's like all about how the wind told a little lamb that there was a boy, and then the lamb told somebody, and it passes on until everybody goes there, and it's like, that's right, the stars,
like a spiritual game of telephone.
It was. Yes.
Exactly.
And obviously we all just sing it and enjoy it, but I'm hearing witches now.
Christmas carols are kind of spooky low-key, so I mean...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're completely spooky. And apparently the origin of Christmas carols were to scare away dark spirits. Because you walk through the night and you sing and then they fly away. But anyways, if you talk to a Christian about the wise men, they would say to you that the wise men followed their pagan beliefs and found Christ and, received eternal life through their faith in Jesus. Like in the story, they changed their faith and were now Christians. But I think a more interesting way to look at it, I think if you look at Jesus as an enlightened being who really was sent to help mankind, it would make sense that his earth would align with the stars. The birth of Osiris in Egyptian mythology was predicted by the 3 stars that now make up the belt of Orion, which is why experts believe the pyramids of Giza align with Orion's belt. And the night sky was also probably how Asita, the monk, foretold of the Buddha's birth 12 years before he was born. So, if you're looking at it as every so many 100 years, we get an enlightened being who gets sent here to try and fix our shit and never does.
He tries. Gave it the old college try.
Try their darndest. The old college try.
Jesus tried so hard.
So,
I know. It would take a lot.
We're not the easiest species.
Yeah, we're not blaming any of these.
Jesus was literally like, all you have to do is accept my love. And we were like, fuck
gross.
You.
We don't want that.
Wear shoes. We don't want it here.
Hippie bullshit.
Wear shoes.
Snowflake.
Wear shoes already. Fuck you, man. The worst. Well,
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So that was What If God Was One of Us. And now
Obsessed.
we're going to talk about, this was actually a question sent in by quite a few listeners. They wanted to know about Christmas traditions that we have today that were actually pagan in origin. And let me tell you, it's all of them.
It's
But
every single one.
Laura's
them.
going to give us some Christmas knowledge.
Yay.
Yeah, I mean, I'll kind of set the scene. Like you were saying, there's not a lot written about Jesus's birth. And a lot of historians would argue that it actually happened sometime in the spring. But for whatever reason, in the 4th century, Pope declared December 25th to be the official birthday for Jesus. And I mean, it kind of sounds random at first, but when you think about it, Christianity was newly legal in the Roman Empire, which dominated a lot of Europe at the time. And Pope gets the bright idea to have the biggest Christian holiday coincide with the biggest pagan holiday, which is the winter
Not bad.
solstice. Christians would celebrate the birth of the sun, and pagans would celebrate the return of the sun. So it really shouldn't surprise anybody that a lot of traditions from the nature-loving pagans and solstice celebrations kind of bled over into Christmas. I mean, Christmas is new. It didn't have a lot of established traditions in Europe, so people kind of just went with what they knew and had done for centuries. So one of the big traditions, and my personal favorite, is Christmas trees. Sorry,
Love
they're
'em.
pagan.
Obsessed.
Love
Sorry about
them.
it. Not sorry.
God.
Sorry about it.
I'm not kidding. When I turned the lights on our Christmas tree, one tear rolled down Joe's cheek. He just from the glow of the lights.
You feel it. You
Ornaments
feel
weren't
the
even on
warmth.
it. You
I
feel
know,
it.
there is something
Oh,
so special
God,
about
it's
a
so
tree.
good.
I love it.
I mean, I did this as a little kid. I do it as an adult. Like every night when everybody goes to bed, I just like sit for an extra like 10, 15 minutes. And
I
just,
do
like,
that too.
Feel the warm glow. It's so special.
It is so rare nowadays that I will stay up past Alex. Like we try to go to bed at the same time and usually we're both exhausted at the same time. But in December, I stay up later because I love sitting by the tree for a little longer.
Well, think about it this way. So like, in the wintertime, the world is dead. It is desolate.
Yeah.
It's kind of depressing. It's cold. The days are getting shorter. The night is getting longer. So pagans would look for that sign of life, and that was the hardy evergreen. And they would bring in branches and bushes. And now there's no record of them bringing in like an actual Christmas tree and decorating it up the way we do it now.
Right.
That doesn't really show up until like the 16th century in Germany. But it's still, they would bring it in, they would decorate with evergreens and holly and anything they could find that was green. And that would symbolize this kind of persistence of life, that like even in the darkest times, that there is still life. And that is a very big core belief in pagan and witches like belief system of this cycle of life, death, and rebirth. So even when it seems so dark and depressing and hopeless, like light is coming back.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they would bring in evergreens and they would decorate it with candles or with, honestly, a lot of times food, cookies, little candies, I don't know, different herbs. There's a lot of different places where ornaments come from, but
that's kind of where they started, by just like sprinkling different things on your little evergreen.
Speaking of ornaments, I just have to say one quick tidbit. Wilder calls ornaments cornaments, and no matter how often I say that they are ornaments, he still says cornaments. So now I'll have to take a picture of it to post when this episode comes out. We have an ornament that's an ear of corn with sparkles on it that we hang every year.
I was gonna say, you have to get a corn
so
ornament.
sweet.
It's a cornament. But it's just funny because he said it when he was like 2, and we were like, of course a 2-year-old is saying cornament, but then 3 years old, cornament. He's now 4 years old, cornament. It's gonna be corn forever. So anyway, I just thought it was cute.
Never correct him. Yeah.
I know. I was
Let
like,
him go to
no,
high
the
school and
cornaments
tell his
now.
friends.
Did you hang your cornaments this year?
We
Did you
just
all?
decorated the tree with cornaments.
We did our cornaments, did you?
I love that.
And then when they're like, what do you mean cornament? He can hold up his little corn
He'll
ornament.
have his, it'll be
"Cornaments."
like in his backpack, like this, bro.
Yeah.
This is it. Anyway, continue, Laura.
because the evergreen does have like these pagan roots, many American settlers were hesitant to jump on the Christmas tree trend. And Puritans, those pesky Puritans, they were widely against the pagan influence that claimed German settlers were introducing into Christmas. And early government officials tried to destroy new Christmas traditions of decorating and dismiss that as heathen. And in 1659, the General Court of Massachusetts even made a law saying that celebrating Christmas was illegal. The only thing they allowed was church attendance, no decorations, and especially trees should be seen.
Okay, well then, lock me up and throw away the key.
Yeah,
right?
put me in jail forever, because what?
The speed at which I would have been burned at the stake in like
She's
any other century.
Twinkle lights, Your Honor.
Your Honor, we can't stand for this.
She's a witch.
She's a witch. Yeah,
it actually took a long time too for people to like cool their jets. It really wasn't until like the 19th century that Christmas tree was widely accepted. And
oh my God,
I know, right?
Crazy.
Thank God it did, because I do. I love my Christmas tree so much. That's my favorite part.
Yep.
Same.
Are you guys team real tree, team fake tree?
I've never had a real tree in my whole life.
I am not against a real tree. We grew up doing real trees. We live in a tiny ass apartment. Like we don't got time for that. So we are doing a fake tree currently, but we keep saying like if we move out of the state or if we just move to a bigger space, team real tree for sure. Is that
100%. We were real tree growing up, and when I moved here to an apartment living, the first year we did a real tree, and we were like, Jesus Christ, like lugging it up the stairs, never again. So we are team fake tree now, but one day I'm going back to real tree.
I know. That's how I feel too.
I love it so much.
I do
Joe
too.
said, he was like, when we move into a house, when we move to Illinois, we're going to get real trees. But he was like, and we're going to put Christmas lights up. But then once Christmas comes around and you realize like, oh, I'm so tired after work.
Yeah, I don't want to go do
it's
that.
The last thing I want to do.
Right.
And then the last thing I want to do is fucking sweep up these Christmas tree needles and water this fucking living tree in my living room.
The watering. Like, I remember I had a friend who, during the pandemic, went to stay with her family back in the Midwest because, like, of course, she was like, get me out of here. And she was like, but I did get a real Christmas tree right before I left, and I'm going to be gone for a month. So can you go over and water it? And even though I was going over there pretty frequently, it smelled terrible. There were needles everywhere, and I just kept taking video. And I was like, honey, you got to get rid of this tree. Anyway, it's a lot.
As you can see from my backdrop, watering is not a problem for me. I water every single day because I'm plant crazy. But that reminds me, one Christmas that my family got a tree like December 1st. And it was dead within a week. So every time you walked into the living room, you just heard like, it sounded like one of those rain sticks, just needles.
Yes.
Never again. Never again.
Yeah. It's complicated.
Here's my question, because I do know that Christmas trees used to be lit with candles.
Oh yeah, still are in some places.
How?
Okay.
How the fuck?
How do you not set it ablaze?
In like fairness, Christmas trees do not look like the standard American, like really, really tall, really full, lot of sap kind of Christmas tree. That's not what they have all over like Western civilization. They've gone out, they've chopped down a real tree themselves, and it's got like little sticky outy branch. It's more like a Charlie Brown Christmas tree, which I actually found very, very like charming and pretty. So you can put candles on it, and it's not like directly gonna burn the leaves above it.
That's fair.
Also, you don't put the lights on and then leave it up all night, or like leave it and go out for it. Yeah, it's pretty much, we're going to hang out under the tree, let's light the candles. Oh, we're going to leave, let's blow out the candles.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all pretty common sense stuff.
I was going to say, I only know so much because, like, I've seen the videos and I kind of want to do it, but I would absolutely burn my house to the ground.
Yeah, totally.
I would 100%. I can never even try it.
We all know my history with fire.
Well,
oh yeah, God, Ashley. No.
We Yeah,
Don't even look at a tree.
I can't even. I don't even like candles anymore. I'm terrified.
I
I like
know, you
candles on my
poor
altar,
thing.
and like that's it. While I'm sitting in front of them, I'm so afraid. I have caused too much damage.
I'm sorry. I know you have, I mean, to your own home, but also the true Keep It Weird loyal fans will also know that you almost lit your apartment on fire in one of our first ever YouTube videos.
Yeah, it's on video.
So yeah, no fire for you is the end of that. But love you.
Listen,
It's okay. We all have our
thanks.
strengths.
You'll do good with your fake trees.
Yeah,
Big tree for life.
we all have our strengths and we all have our weaknesses. It's
Take
weird
two for
because
life.
I'm an Aries, which is a fire sign.
I know. Come on.
Maybe that's
should
it.
be
Maybe you're
better
too
with it.
good at fire.
Too fiery.
Maybe you're
That's
just
true.
highly
Maybe I'm
too far.
flammable.
Too hot. I also run really hot. Like Joe literally
you a
would be like,
furnace
"Let's
person?
snuggle," and like 10 seconds later, he's like, "Get the fuck away from me!"
Ugh,
You are
just
so
like
hot.
Alex, get off me.
Yeah, Tom's
Do you guys know? Wait, Tom's hot?
Tom's, oh my gosh. if
Alex
he
and
gets into
Tom
bed-
run hot like
Yeah,
you.
like my tiny little icicle feet just zoop right to his legs because
you
no,
have to
he's
find
a
the word.
furnace.
No, I
I'm a
am
hot
always too cold, but I kind of like my cold. So the
I'm a
minute
heat
his
blanket.
hot body touches me, I'm like, get the fuck off me. Like, I like to be my little icicle in the corner. Anyway, what were you about to say, Ashley?
Oh, well, I was going to tell you guys about the origin of Christmas ornaments, like the traditional like ball ornaments that we have today.
Yes, please.
Tell us.
Back in the day, they were glass blown spheres and they were called witch balls.
No.
Excuse me?
Witch balls.
I love that.
Yes. And they would hang, actually, not on trees. We actually don't know when they made their way to trees. They would hang in windows, actually. And they would be really bright colors. And the idea was they would attract witches and trap their dark spirits. And like I said, no one really
Ooh.
knows like when they made their way onto trees. But the intent still, even on the tree, is to essentially ward off bad spirits.
Or I guess to entice but then trap.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
entice
ooh,
and
isn't this
trap
sparkly
a
and
bad
fun?
spirit.
In.
Mhm.
Like a tiny little Ghostbuster box. But
Yeah.
for-
Exactly.
A little witch ball.
Yeah, it's a ghost trap.
It's a ghost trap.
Interesting that the balls made it onto the tree and the candles made it into windows. Look at that little switcheroo.
Oh, Lauren, what are
Listen.
you?
Too many
It's
houses
just the
burned down.
truth.
So they were just like,
People
"We
put
gotta
candles
move
in the windows now.
We just gotta.
Yeah, they're
We
like,
just
this
gotta.
is
I mean,
safer.
before
Electricity.
electricity, candles were everywhere. So
It's true.
A lot more
It's
houses
very
burned
true.
down. Houses were made of sticks and straw, and all we had to light them with was candles. I don't know how we survived.
I don't know how we
The
survived
straw.
that era.
There was so much straw everywhere. Like, how are
Gumption,
people?
I guess.
How have we?
And then we're
made
just
it?
dragging dry ass pine
And
trees
now
into
you're
our homes
inviting
too.
witches to your house.
Yep,
It
you're just.
it's a bad
How
idea.
are we a people? Okay, well. Anyway,
We made it
We
this
barely
far.
survived. Okay, do we have any more pagan history? You said something about mistletoe, right?
I
wanna know
do.
about
I do.
mistletoe.
I have a whole little
saucy.
spiel about mistletoe. Do we have? I was gonna say I can't think of any like segue into it, or do we have one
Here.
of your
Mistletoe. It was a big old
mistletoe?
smooch.
So everybody knows mistletoe. Do you guys hang mistletoe in your house?
I've never hung a
I've
mistletoe.
never hung it, but I kind of want it. I like it.
But like, I don't have anything against hanging.
I
a
always pick it up
mistletoe.
at Trader Joe's, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna hang it this year, and then I'm like, nah, no, I'm not. Mistletoe actually has Scandinavian pagan roots. It is associated with the Viking goddess Frigga. She's the goddess
Frigga?
of love.
Okay,
Frigga.
Frigga.
And
Hell yeah,
I'm all
girl.
for a Viking goddess, right? Said that when her son died, her tears turned the red berries of mistletoe white, and this actually brought her son back to life. And in that joy, she kissed all those around her under the mistletoe in gratitude, and it was immediately deemed a symbol of love, which I think is just
Wow.
so touching.
Wow.
The early Celts believed it to be a symbol of love and fertility. This is a little dirty, but they said the sticky white sap of the berry had sexual connotations.
Oh,
sticky and white.
Huh? Yeah.
Even back then, people were immature.
Good to know.
Yeah, the plant had a perceived ability to spontaneously grow from other plants, and this kind of created the myth that the plant had like special like reproductive powers.
Oh.
Mm.
But really it was just a weed.
It's just like an evergreen parasitic like growth that
I'll
just
grow anywhere.
birds will eat the berries, the birds fly around, they drop the berries, they kind of just they grow wherever they feel like it. And
Too.
Mistletoe can be deadly if you eat it.
What?
A kiss can be even deadlier if you mean it.
Ooh.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to see who would get that.
Ashley was there.
That is one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time.
Batman Returns,
1989.
Such a good
perfect Christmas movie. Question: does anyone know, for pagans back in the day, was gift giving a thing at winter solstice? It was? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that came along with the Christian belief. I didn't know if that was a frankincense, gold, and myrrh thing where it's like they gifted it to Christ and now we gift each other, or if that was from the before times.
That's definitely where Christians take that from, for sure. But no, because Yule was such like a rare like ray of sunshine in the middle of a dark, depressing winter. It really was a time to like show your gratitude, show your wealth if you had it. You wanted to show your loved ones like that you loved them. And a lot of times it would be homemade things or meals or biscuits or cookies. It was stuff just made at home that was given. It was a feast time. So yeah, food, gifts, the whole shebang.
Even if you just get together with your family at Christmas and have a big meal, that's pagan. That's from winter solstice. That's from Yule, the giant feast. They would serve a giant roasted pig with a candle and an apple in its mouth. Like, it was an enormous feast. It was the biggest feast of the year, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was.
Which, amen, still fucking is.
I
eat
a
so
good
much
Christmas ham. I eat so very much on Christmas, for sure.
Mid-November to January 2nd, I'm
a
fucking monster.
I am a monster. I gained so much weight, but it's all worth it. Like,
it's one of those things.
We'll eat it all.
Well, okay, so let's talk about, I do want to talk about some ways that we can make our modern day Christmas and holiday and Yule season more witchy. But let's do interspersed between these, because we had a listener write in, Addie, who we love.
Addie Rive, ancient artifacts with Addie Rive.
She's an OG listener. We love her so much. She asked us to play Fuck, Marry, Kill with Christmas characters. I have a really easy one, like a little softball to lob you guys if you want.
Okay. Bring it. Okay. Soft it. That's weird. Don't say soft it.
Soft it to me, baby.
Soft it to me.
Fuck, marry, kill. The ghost of Christmas Past from Scrooged, which is the cab driver.
Thank you.
The ghost of Christmas Past from A Muppet Christmas Carol, which is the creepy floaty ghost baby. And Matthew McConaughey from Ghost of Girlfriends Past.
Well, come on.
Fuck, marry, kill. I wonder, which one might I fuck?
Well, definitely McConaughey on that one.
Yeah, I was like, okay, easy. We have
definitely
to go. Also, like, it can't be like we can't say certain things. About one of them. Okay, F. Definitely fuck Matthew McConaughey. Do we marry the baby ghost?
I mean,
no. Listen.
Do you kill?
We absolutely kill the baby ghost.
The Muppet ghost?
That thing is so scary. It has tiny little baby ghost hands. And it floats around.
But I feel like bad killing the baby hands. No, but it's scary. We should kill it. We should kill it. But I feel weird about it.
We should kill it. It wants to die.
That, Lauren, I'm with you. We can both feel icky about it, but like, I guess that is the smart answer.
Well, then who would you rather be with?
That reverses my other two then. Because I would marry.
You want to marry Matthew McConaughey?
And because I bet that one guy, he'd be weird. He'd be weird. I mean,
yeah.
Oh, like
Listen,
you're kind of like, what are you about to show me?
He's a punk rocker.
Also, he'd be a lot to deal with every day.
That's Buster Poindexter, you guys.
Yes, it is.
Like, that is an old school
feeling hot,
punk
hot,
rock.
hot.
Laura, you're right. I feel like you
Okay.
have to
Yes.
do the fuck for him because Matthew McConaughey, like, you could tolerate for your entire life.
Yeah. It's Matthew McConaughey.
You're right, you're right.
He can be around. He's there.
I'm going to marry the ghost of Christmas Past from Scrooge because he reminds me of Joe quite a bit.
I actually see that. I see it.
It's a bone, you lucky dog. Like, okay. All right, I have another one. Fuck, marry, kill. Snow Miser. Jack Frost from Santa Claus 3. Or Jack Frost, Michael Keaton Snowman from Jack Frost.
Jack Frost, Santa Claus 3 is Martin Short, is he not?
Yes.
It is.
It's one of my favorites. Oh, I love it. Ooh.
I don't think I've ever seen it, but it's weird that that's in my brain. I'm just that much of a Martin Short fan that I just know his body of work.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
Oh, this is really hard. I feel like I'd have to kill
I think
Snow
I'd kill
Miser.
the Snow Miser.
I think I'm with
Did
you
we
on
just
that one.
say
I'd
the
kill
same
Snow Miser.
thing?
He's claymation.
At the same time.
Yeah, we all want to kill that
He's
motherfucker.
claymation, and also he would just sing that dumb song for the rest of my life. I'm Mr. Snow Miser. No. Da-da, da-da. I can't do it.
So then do you think you'd rather
I got it.
Michael Keaton as a snowman or marry Michael Keaton as a snowman?
Fuck and marry Martin Short because I think he's going to make me laugh for the rest of my life. And also I cannot imagine just being in a sexual relationship with Martin Short as Jack Frost. I feel like Michael Keaton would get like a little down and dirty and like show me a few things. I don't know.
Do you guys want to hear a funny piece of trivia about the Jack Frost Michael Keaton Snowman movie?
Yes, I do.
Obviously.
Okay, the reason that the snowman kind of looks like George Clooney is because George Clooney was supposed to play that role and they had already like made the snowman to be kind of George Clooney-esque, and then George Clooney left and they cast Michael Keaton, but they didn't want to spend any more of the budget remaking the snowman, so the snowman kind of gives off a real George Clooney vibe.
Which is why he's hot and that's why he's the fuck.
Which is why he's fuckable.
He's a very fuckable snowman. You can't say he's not.
Let's talk about sugar and spice and everything nice. Laura, how do we make our Christmas meals more Yule-y, more witchy?
More witchy? Yeah, this is like my favorite thing to do when it comes to like incorporating a little bit of my witchiness into just like everyday meals. Because I used to be all about like setting up these very elaborate spells and sitting down for like 20 to 40 minutes and getting to meditate and burning candles and incense and all that stuff. I'm a mom now. I absolutely do not have that kind of fucking time
for this?
No way. So it's kind of more about like, I look for things that have correspondences to like the intentions I want to set for myself. So I really have gotten into like a lot of kitchen witchcraft from
That's my shit.
Witchy Wednesday that I posted by the time you're listening to this a week or two ago.
Wow.
But today,
2 weeks ago.
It's for us today. So I made that Yule punch, and the orange represents the sun. Like around Yule, you'll see oranges in like the dried garland and the dry ornaments.
Yes.
That's honestly what I was gonna do for this Witchy Wednesday, and then I was like, I don't have the time. I'm just making a cocktail out of it. So
Fair.
I don't have the time, and also, Mama needs a drink.
Yeah, let's get to the cocktail.
Oranges are very, very popular this time because it is the biggest representation of the sun, which is what Yule is all about. The return of the sun. So you'll see them kind of everywhere. Cinnamon, it's in every recipe, every baked good, every drink you're drinking right now. And it's great because it represents prosperity, intuition, and success and protection and healing. It's really a great like kind of jack of all trades herbs. It gives you all the good feels, good stuff.
Yeah. And you wouldn't believe how many things cinnamon tastes good in. I put cinnamon in my chili. I put
Yep.
cinnamon in
I do
my
too.
spaghetti sauce.
Yeah.
I put
Ooh,
cinnamon and spaghetti sauce
that I'll
is
have to try.
I believe it, because if it's
incredible.
good in chili, I feel like it's going to be good in spaghetti
Why
sauce.
wouldn't it
I'm
be?
here for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Mm.
I eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch most mornings.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Me too. That makes me so
Cinnamon
happy.
and sugar
It's the
bread.
best cereal.
I'm so glad another adult still
cranberries.
eats that.
Oh my god. I buy Cheerios and I'm like, I see you up there, but I'm gonna eat the Cinnamon Toast Crunch first.
You can keep shaming me, but
Cranberries, you say?
Oh yes, cranberries. They correspond with attraction and abundance and kindness.
yes, Ashley.
All those things. Just summing up
I'm gonna be
Ashley
hammered.
right now.
I know. Ah. Yes. Oh.
There's so much sugar in
Dying.
this.
Rosemary that I popped in that drink offers
Yeah.
protection. It's just a all-around protection herb. It's also an evergreen. And going back, we remember why evergreens are so important right now. Just that like perpetuating
Pop of life.
life. It's gonna get good again. Don't worry. Apples represent love. Cloves represent prosperity and wealth. And that's kind of the end of my list. I just did all the ingredients in here. You can, oddly enough, find meaning in most things if you just look for it. So yeah, the next time you're making your Christmas dinner or just making your random Thursday night dinner, like throw a little bit of cinnamon in it and bam, you got yourself a little bit of magic in there.
And that's the best part about being a kitchen witch, is that all witchcraft is truly is intention. Is just adding intention behind the things you do.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what meal you're making, first of all, you should be seasoning your meals, because listen,
Yeah, because also don't
white
eat something
people,
bland.
white
have a lot
people,
to
we
make
all
up
need
for.
the
we
advice.
have a lot
yeah.
to make up for. Season your
Lord.
fucking food. But not just seasoning, searing meat, boiling risotto, like everything, as long as you are putting intention in what you're doing. And really it's funny because when you think about, like, I'm a huge practitioner of Buddhism as well, and that really just kind of goes hand in hand, because all Buddhism is staying mindful. And
Right.
that's kind of what intention is as well. It's like when you are cooking this food, think about, one, how grateful you are to afford the food, how grateful you are to feed yourself and the people that you love.
Yeah, if
But
you're able to
also
feed
just
others, how amazing is that?
Yourself and
not
others,
everyone can
that's
say
huge.
that. Not
No.
everyone can say that they can feed themselves and that they have a warm meal on the table.
Right.
So it's literally just like, as you're cooking, don't think about like how shitty your boss was to you today. Don't think about like all the things you have to do tomorrow. Don't think about that thing that your husband said that made you so mad. Just be in the moment, be mindful, and you're practicing witchcraft. And you
1000%.
are being Buddhist. Like, that's as simple as it's nothing. Like, that's what I love so much about being a Buddhist witch is that, like, I don't have to buy books. I don't have to have materials. I don't have to really set aside any time. It's all about just like staying mindful and putting intention behind what you're doing, no matter what it is you're doing. And you're a witch. It's so easy.
And finding a little bit of that magic in the mundane. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, yeah,
It's fun.
you're feeding yourself. You've done it every day for your life so far. You're going to do it every day until you die. But like, just that simple act, if you really truly look at that act, it's so special. It's so special. Never take it for granted.
And I love, like, Laura, this
Agreed.
is why you are so special, being our resident green witch, our resident witch, is that you have taught me. I always say, like, I'm the resident dummy witch, but a lot of our listeners who are trying to be beginner witches as well, is like, you have taught me that like, I always thought it was like, I have to read all the books and become this thing, and I'm not practicing in the right way. But you have been so good about saying, like, okay, well, what are you putting in your bath at night? What are you doing when you're cooking dinner? And I think that is so helpful, because I do cook dinner multiple times a week for my husband and son. And it's like now every time I cook, which I already loved cooking because it is like my time. It's when Alex gets home from work and I'm like, goodbye, everyone. Nobody talk to me for an hour. And everybody leaves.
Distract this small child who has needed my attention every moment of this day.
So it's like my time alone when I'm cooking. I already enjoyed it. So it's like the one time of day that I'm at peace, which helps to be like centered. And then now on top of it, every ingredient that I put in, I try to have mindfulness and I try to put intention behind it. And I think that is so special and great for anybody who is starting out on their journey, because it has helped me so much. And now I feel like every meal, every tea, every bath, because I love a good bath, has so much more meaning behind it. So thank you for teaching us your witchiness, and y'all can do it too.
Oh my gosh, I'm gushing over here. That sounds so lovely. Thank you so much for saying that. And
yeah,
no, you're doing it so right. You're not a dummy witch. Like, did you hear all that? You're just saying how mindful you are and how experienced you are. Like, you are also, like, you're the resident witch now. You guys don't need me.
Yeah, you're doing it, Peter. You're doing it.
You're doing
there
it,
you are, Peter.
There you are, Peter.
Oh.
The thing I also love about witchcraft and being a witch is so much of it is self-care.
Oof, yeah.
It's like one of the only like practices, whatever you want to call it, practice, religion, faith, like whatever you prefer to call it, but it's one of the only ones that focuses so much on like taking care of yourself.
Yes.
And like making sure that you have the power within yourself or the peace within yourself or the whatever within yourself before you focus on outwardly things, because unless you are running smoothly, like there's no way that you can
you give and love
run
others?
A household smoothly or love people smoothly.
Yeah, if you don't maintain your own upkeep, like, you're going to be rotting away, and eventually you are going to let down the people that count on you, because you're giving, and you're never taking care of yourself. So, like, think of it as like putting water into somebody else's, like, from your cup into somebody else's cup. You're always going to be dry. You're never going to have enough. And it isn't until you can take care of yourself that you can really take care of others.
That is like the exact reason Alex and I left the church when we did. Like, Alex and I met at a church, so I will always give the church like a tiny bit of credit, because that's like how I met my husband. But then we both left it. And it is because the church that we were at was like, if you don't tithe and donate money, even if you're like the brokest you've ever been, then like get out of our face. And the whole thing was just like serve, give, don't ever sleep. And I'm not even exaggerating. Like, the second you said, I want to volunteer, they were like, give us your entire
That's
soul.
a pyramid scheme.
Yes, 1000%.
That's what that is.
Yes. And it's like, that is
That's
exactly why we
scheme.
left, because now both of us subscribe to, like, we have to be where we need to be to love on others. And now we take the time that we need, especially being parents. It's like, we take the time, both of us, that we need, of like, I have to be away from the house for a little bit. I have to not have a toddler pulling at me every 5 seconds. And we take our space, and we take our sleep, and we take our self-care moments. And then we come back, we can love each other better. We can love our friends better. We can love our family. It's like, self-care is at the center of it all. So if I just like the sacrificial, like, give everything you got, even if you have nothing left in your tank. I don't like that.
I mean, if I didn't focus on like things that enrage me or things that make me sad, or what people would call negative feelings, but I don't believe in negative feelings. No feeling is negative. It's just a feeling.
It's feeling.
But if you don't focus on that stuff, it's going to come out in other areas. So like, if I'm already angry and then my husband comes home and, like, I don't know, we took his shoes off in the wrong place, I'm going to snap at him because I'm already holding on to all this anger. But like, if I can take care of myself and release it in a healthy way, or channel it into something else, then you can be a better partner. You can be a better mom. You can be a better friend.
The mindfulness in all these areas too is what allows you to realize that, like, you're not actually mad that your husband took his shoes off in the wrong place.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I am a little. He should know.
I mean, kind of. He should know where to take his
like,
fucking
put
shoes
your shoes
off.
in the right place.
But yeah, that kind of like grounded, like when you're in tune with yourself and you're grounded and you're really mindful, you can make those distinctions. And very quickly you can be like, I'm so sorry I snapped at you. I was really fucked up in my head about this. It's not about the shoes, but also like, you know where to put your
about
shoes.
you. This was something else deeper. Like, I'm sorry.
It really just makes you a better person. And maybe I'm going to hell. Okay? Maybe I'm going to hell.
I probably am for many reasons.
We're already there.
Maybe we're already there.
That's the biggest thing I was going to say for witchcraft, like my craft and everything, though. It is I have let go of the conception of like a heaven and a hell. That is some kind of like man-made, eternal, like Chuck E. Cheese prize system that it's like, if you're good, you get to go to this really cool place, but if you don't listen to us, like, no, thank you.
It doesn't like make sense when you think of it. Like, not to harp on this, but it really doesn't make sense, because you're saying that people who are born in a part of the world where they're never introduced to Christianity, so they don't even know the concept of Christianity, so they don't know the concept of God, they don't know the concept of Christ. You're telling me they are going to burn in eternal damnation?
Or even if they heard about it, but you know what? They are like a devout Buddhist, have led a great life, never harmed another living soul, super mindful, you know what? Sorry. You get to go where Hitler goes.
It doesn't work. Really... The math ain't mathin'. Okay? It's not working out for me. Real quick, because you mentioned this earlier and I can't stop thinking about it. Please tell me about Santa Claus.
Oh my God, yeah. If we just want to talk about like some of the most pagan beliefs out there, what's more pagan, what's more magical than fairies?
Nothing.
And yet, for some reason, on December 24th, the entire like Western civilization totally just buys into the fact that there is a fae coming to their house and they have to like leave out an offering of like baked goods and sweets to appease this elf.
And you can't look at him.
Yeah, but on December 26th, like, fairies. Nobody believes in fairies. That's dumb. I picture a man in my head, like a very like stereotypical man who's just like, Santa's not a fairy. He's a dude. He's a dude that's coming to my house. And
he's
it's
a bro.
That's even weirder.
It's only a bro with a big old beard. Yeah, no fairies.
And he's definitely white.
That is more terrifying.
Like Jesus,
we don't want it.
So I just thought it was really, really funny that it's just like, you know.
Well, he is. Listen,
fairy.
He's a big fairy, and he has little elves that assist him.
Right.
And
lives forever.
We're all totally fine with this.
So I was very curious. Have you guys heard of the Yule? I don't think I'm saying that right, but that's okay.
Excuse me? No.
So throughout like Europe, there are different versions of these like Santa Fe or these. Wait, I hear it.
Santa Fe.
Santa elf fae creatures. So in Norway, they believe in something called the Julenissen, and they don't leave out cookies for their elf friends. They leave out a bowl of porridge.
Oh. How much porridge could that?
That was my initial thought, but I was like, if we're talking really cold Norway, it's the hardest night that you've ever worked all year round. I don't know. A hot bowl of oatmeal kind of sounds nice.
I wouldn't hate it.
Listen, I'm not going to
Ashley's
turn
not
down.
sold though.
I'm not going to turn down a hot bowl of porridge, but like one bowl of porridge. How much porridge can one fae eat?
Well, it isn't just the one fae. So Yule and Ise come in like a little entourage. So like they don't come from the North Pole or anything like that. They just live in your forest. They're not sneaking down your chimneys. They're coming in your front doors. They just kind of let themselves in. It is like one taller Yule and Ise, and then like the other ones with like little red hats and little red beards. And they hand out their toys. They eat the one bowl of porridge, and then they like head back to the forest.
That's adorable.
That's really cute.
I do love that. One day a year they come out of the forest and eat our porridge and give us presents.
Well, and like I think Nisa is just like they're there all the time too. But like at Yule they come on December 24th.
I love it.
Okay. That's actually great.
Santa is a fairy.
He is, and he
I
hangs
do
out with all
believe
the
in
other fairies, and I want people to admit it.
Yep. Get on board. Fairies.
I have a question. This is a listener question. It was sent in by Brendan.
Hi, Brendan.
Hey.
Hi, Brendan.
Frasier?
Yes,
he is a fan
George
of
the Jungle himself. That's
Cool,
what I really
cool.
do.
So
Anyway,
Brendan
what's up,
wanted to
Brendan?
know what our best Christmas present was, and there wasn't any more context. So, like, was there a Christmas present you got at any point in your life that you either like wanted so badly and got it that you remember, or like it was a total surprise and you loved it?
Oh yeah. For me, it was the Nintendo 64. I will
Yeah.
never forget that Christmas. We unwrapped our presents and we got like the game cartridges, but we finished unwrapping all our presents and there was no Nintendo 64. Like I got Mario 64 and my brother got Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and we were very much like, what's happening? Like clearly we were supposed to get it, but we finished. There was no Nintendo 64. We're looking at my dad. He's like, I don't know. I think they work in the Sega. And we're like, oh, totally. So we run upstairs and like where our Sega is one giant box with a big bow on it. So
well
we
done,
like tear it
parents.
open and it's like the 64.
So
We're just like,
cute.
yeah. It was very much like Ralphie's BB gun.
Yes,
Christmas Story.
from A Christmas Story. Gosh, my brother was gifted the Nintendo 64 the year we got it. It was for all of us, but because my brother was gifted it, I don't have the memory of like it being for all of us, and so I'm like always a little sour about it. But getting Felicity, my American Girl doll, and her bedroom set and extra outfits was my favorite, and her sheets. They were customized, like said Felicity, but then also on the underside of the sheets, they said Lauren. So I was like, oh my God, it was customized. How did Santa know? And I remember still believing in Santa and thinking like, oh my gosh, he knew, like he understood the assignment. And so that just felt so magical too.
That's so cool.
My parents fucking killed it every single Christmas, and I don't remember there being... They're really good at gift giving. I don't remember there being a specific year, but I do remember one year. And I never had a Nintendo 64. I owned it at friends' houses. And they had like... I know. Right. Sorry, guys. Listen.
You can come play mine now if you want.
But I had a PlayStation.
That's cool. That's cool awesome. Too.
And the game that I wanted more than anything was Crash Bandicoot.
Bandicoot! Oh my God. I was like, I know she's going to say Crash Bandicoot because I wanted a PlayStation for Crash Bandicoot.
Ooh, the racing one?
Racing game, yeah. Crash Bandicoot Team Racing. That's because I always played Diddy Kong Racing and I played Mario Kart with my friends that had Nintendo 64s and Super Nintendos, but I only had a PlayStation, and Crash Bandicoot Team Racing was basically the Diddy Kong Racing of the PlayStation. And I wanted it so bad. And the funny thing was, I did get it. My sister, Jamie, shout out to Jamie.
Hey, Jamie.
Love you so much. Jamie, this was after we found out Santa wasn't real. We knew like our parents bought the Christmas
or
gifts.
maybe he still is
a fae.
No, we don't know how old these listeners are.
This is when we
and you don't know what fairies are in the room right now. Just play it safe, guys. Okay, play it safe.
This is when we found out that our parents bought us gifts on Christmas, sometimes as well, and my sister would stop at nothing to find the presents and figure out what she got before Christmas.
That was me.
Lauren?
That was me. Is it like a youngest child thing?
No, it's not. I believed in the whimsy of things.
Okay, so me and Jamie are also both Geminis, so I don't know. Is it a Gemini thing? I don't know. Anyway, continue.
It might be a Gemini thing. I'm not kidding. There was one year my parents were like, she always finds the presents no matter where we put them. So my dad hid them in the shed. And one year we found Jamie with it. She had a I don't remember if she had an axe. She had a blunt object. She was ready to bust down the door to discover the gifts.
Okay, I never went that far.
Okay, is it weird that I was like, did she have an axe? And then out of your mouth comes...
I was thinking that too. Like, there's no way she got an
She was
axe for
ready.
the shed. Oh
But anyways,
my.
the year I got Crash Bandicoot
Jamie.
Racing, she came to me and she was like, I know what you got for Christmas. And I was like, don't tell me. And she was like, okay, but like, you're really going to like it.
She was still
and I was
holding
like,
the axe.
Don't
like...
tell me.
She has like dirt all over her face with the axe.
She was like
I know
Jack
what you got.
Torrance, Jack Torrance running through the
Do you wanna
fucking,
hear?
like, yeah. And she did tell me that I got Crash Team Racing, and I was like,
Oh.
Jamie, like, why would you tell me
Okay,
that?
I never
Rude.
ruined it. I was the gift
That was the only
searcher.
time
I
she
never
ever did.
ruined it. Okay. I
And
was
she,
like, that's
and I
not,
think it's just
that's not
because
cool.
she knew how much
not
I
cool.
wanted it and how much we were gonna have fun playing it, that she could
Okay.
not wait to tell me.
All
I
right.
have forgiven
So
her.
it's
like it's all
borderline
whatever,
sweet.
but-
They're okay.
But
Yeah,
mostly rude.
intentions.
Yeah.
Intentions were good.
Yeah, that was the only time she ever did it. But I just remember that was the one that stands out to me because I was like, Crash fucking Team Racing, dude. Like, that was a baller Christmas.
Okay, where are we at? Are we 2 trivia now?
I would love to do some trivia. Can we
love
do
trivia.
some Christmas time trivia?
Let's do some Christmas time trivia. Okay. Christmas trivia, everybody. You can try and answer these in your head or shout at
Play
your
along at
stereo in your car
home.
if you're commuting. Yeah, however you want
The
to.
louder you shout, the more likely that it is we will hear it.
Yeah.
We will hear it. Okay, I want to start with a more of a classic Christmas movie first, because then we're going to go into some horror Christmas. We're going to have a variety.
Okay.
But first, I want to, again, what did we say earlier? I want to like soft one
You want
to
to
you.
soft
What
it
was-
to me?
Soft it to me, baby.
Soft it
Soft
to
me
me.
up.
Okay. In the classic Christmas movie, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Grinch was described with 3 words. What are they?
Stink, stank, stunk.
Stunk.
That's right.
Damn. Good one.
Let's go.
I was surprised how ready that was out of my brain.
I
can't
know, I
remember,
was like, there
normal
might be a
words,
minute.
but that was like right there.
It was just resting. It was ready.
Right there.
Okay, another one. What is the name of Ebenezer Scrooge's partner in A Christmas Carol?
Jacob Marley.
Yes. Well done.
Or
Well
Robert,
done.
and Robert if you're watching the Muppet one.
Oh, for the Muppets. Oh my God.
You get 2
Or
Marleys for the
and
price of one.
Marley.
If my
Yeah.
sweet husband is listening to this episode, he'll be screaming that as well, because he is like Mr. Muppet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he'll
Yeah.
be screaming.
He's Mr.
Muppet
White
Christmas Carol,
Christmas. He's Mr.
Or no
Snow.
Christmas Carol.
Truly.
sure.
Well, Scrooged is a very good Christmas
Okay,
Carol.
Okay, one more of classic Christmas movies, and then we're going to get a little more bloody.
Okay.
Okay. What is Ralphie's little brother's name in the movie A Christmas Carol? Or A Christmas Story?
We did this play in
Arts.
college, Laura.
I can't
I
put my arms down! That's
Put
them.
your arms down when you
And
get to school. Oh, I can
snorting
quote
through
it.
that is a movie that I
Sam.
know backwards and forwards could act up. Fair guess, no, but Sam's a good guess.
Samson.
This is
Hint,
literally
it
killing
also
Samsonite.
starts with an R, just like Ralphie's.
Randy.
Yay!
Randy.
Randy.
Help Randy pick out a present.
Okay, now we're getting
Just
into
Horror Christmas.
this question says, if this picture doesn't make your skin crawl, it's on too tight, is the movie tagline to this 1974 Christmas horror classic that spawned, here's a good hint, a 2006 remake. What is that film?
Was it Black Christmas? No.
Yeah.
Black Christmas? Hold on. What's the tagline?
I know, I didn't know this either, and I had to I did deep research. Like, this first website must be wrong. If this picture doesn't make your skin crawl, it's on too tight.
What the
I don't
fuck
even know
does
what that
What does that mean?
What, the picture's on too tight?
No, your skin is on too
Oh,
tight.
your
But
skin
what
is
does
on too
that mean? Like, I have really good skin?
This is
Thank
a very
you.
bad tagline for this movie. I've seen this movie 1,000 times,
I know, and
I don't know
I
what they're
like the
referencing.
1974 version, so I'm like, why didn't you do better?
If this picture doesn't scare you, you're too pretty.
If this picture doesn't scare you, put some cinnamon in it.
Yeah.
Sprinkle some cinnamon. Enjoy it. Okay, but also, this is not part of trivia, but okay, so there was 1974, 2006, and then what was the most recent one? Like
2019?
2019.
I think.
Where do you rank them? I wanted to hear.
I have not seen 2019 yet. It is streaming right now, and I have it on my list of things to watch while Joe is gone. So I have not seen 2019 yet. I will say the 1974 is incredible. It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
It's so good.
The
Wow.
2006 version I watched for the first time, I think, last year, and boy, oh boy, is that an
Thumbs up,
insane
thumbs down?
ride. Well,
Thumbs.
Ooh, ooh.
Oh,
way
mid?
down. It's way
Okay.
down. It's not a good movie.
It's not, but it's
Doesn't mean you had a bad time.
intriguing. It's intriguing. Like, I would still
Uh,
say watch it, like have a ride.
Okay.
It's pretty
Maybe not,
bad.
Ashley.
Like, when's the last time you saw it?
It's
I've
been a
never
few
seen
years.
Any of them, unfortunately.
Oh,
I
Laura, you would love the 1974.
I do think you'd love them.
Okay.
They're
1974
fun.
is kind of like my horror genre years. Those are the good
And
ones.
I won't lie, I'm sure Ashley will watch it and text us in our group text and be like, Lauren was so wrong. I like the 2019. I like the newest one. I think
know it's like a
it's fun.
completely different.
It's totally different.
Yeah.
They made it modern in their own way, but like I thought it got gory in all the best ways. I thought it was
I'll
fun.
watch it. But 1974 all the way. That movie is so special to me. I think it's incredible. I did make the mistake of making Joe and his mom watch it last year for Christmas.
Oh, well.
Did they share in your opinion?
How'd that go?
Yeah.
Joe's mom really liked it. It's definitely not like, it doesn't give you any like cool, lovely Christmas vibes.
No.
It's super
I
fucked
couldn't
up.
imagine that it
Like, there
was.
was one point in the movie, like there's one point where the basically like it's like what inspired Scream and like all of those movies, and When a Stranger Calls, when like the man is calling the women and basically like harassing them over the phone. And
Okay.
there was like a part in the movie where this man is like calling and talking to these college students, and he's saying the most, I mean, you would not believe the things he's saying to them. Basically about like them and like horrible shit. And Joe looked at me and was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I really like this movie.
This
And
is
your
my
mother-in-law
favorite
is
horror
sitting next to
movie.
you.
I love
Does anybody
it.
need more marshmallows for their cocoa?
My mother-in-law is literally watching with like a blanket up to her,
Like,
she was literally
what's
like,
wrong with your soul?
Oh my god.
and I was like,
Yeah.
I am so sorry.
It's bad. Yeah.
Whoops.
Well,
Whoopsies. That's a Christmas. whoops.
also fun fact,
Christmas
Bob
whoopsie.
Clark, who directed A Christmas Story, hello Ralphie and Randy, is the director
Hey.
of Black Christmas
You're
1974.
kidding.
Isn't that the best
Is he just
thing
like
you ever
a
heard?
fan? Like a
He just-
Christmas fan?
He just likes Christmas, but also I can kind of see it. I know that's weird to say because Black Christmas is so dark, but also Christmas Story, it has some dark humor sprinkled in there. So I can see how he was having a good time with it. I'm jingling.
Randomly,
Okay.
another director that's very into Christmas, although has like never made a Christmas movie, is Shane Black.
Yep.
Shane Black directed Iron Man 3, which takes place at Christmas, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang,
Yep.
which takes place at Christmas, Lethal Weapon, which takes place at Christmas. This is a man who loves Christmas, and honestly, like action movies set at Christmas are my shit.
You didn't say my favorite one.
What, Die Hard?
Nice Guys.
The Nice Guys? Oh, that's
Nice
at Christmas
Guys.
too.
Yep. That final scene, they're in the Mexican restaurant, and there's a Christmas tree. It
See?
counts.
It counts.
We watched it
That's
while
a
we
Christmas
decorated our
movie.
tree.
Obsessed
I love
with
that
that. Which 1996 movie is about a serial killer who winds up mutating into a killer snowman during the holiday season?
Jack Frost.
I love that there's a horror Jack Frost for all.
And
has to be a happy.
there is a part in that movie where the snowman a girl with his carrot nose.
Well,
Oh,
Ashley, you
No,
do
thank
have
you.
problems.
I'll bleep out the R word. Don't worry. Listen, I've had
No,
so much
I'm
of this
totally
cranberry
kidding.
wine. What do you want from me?
I love it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, there are a couple Jack Frosts out there in the world. You know, if you're Googling Christmas movies, you're gonna find some wholesome, good Jack Frost. We mentioned some of it earlier in this episode,
George
but there
Clooney
is
and Michael Keaton.
George Clooney, Michael Keaton. Get into
Does
that.
the
But
1996 Jack Frost look like George Clooney? Because
he doesn't.
That might
He
change.
just
Oh,
has like
darn.
he just has sharp teeth that are gonna bite into you. He's just like it's a monster. It's not a happy Jack Frost in the slightest bit.
Bummer.
Okay, I have one more about movies and then I'll go into traditions. It's so hard to choose because I was like, I had so many fun ones. Beep-a-doop-a-dop-beep-bop-bop. Okay, this 1984 slasher flick is about a young boy who went crazy after seeing his parents get murdered by a killer in a Santa suit. Years later, he dresses as Santa and goes on a killing spree of his own. What is the name of this horror movie?
Is it Better Watch Out?
No, but good guess. That was a different one on my list.
The night Santa went crazy?
The night Santa went crazy. The night Saint Nick went insane. I love a Weird Al reference. I just gave a Weird Al reference on our last episode. I love it. Okay. It is, I didn't know this either, to be fair. I found this on like a side website. I've never heard of this, but I hope some of our listeners are screaming it at the top of their lungs. Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Oh,
is the name of the movie.
Yeah.
I did want to read the little like fun fact that was attached to this when I found this movie. Silent Night, Deadly Night is a violent and controversial film that has a cult following due to the fact that it received a lot of negative press after it was released around the holiday season, and its popularity with the horror fans was enough for it to spawn several sequels, which Ashley has seen.
I think there's like 5 or 6.
Yeah, it sounds
Damn. That's a lot for me never having heard of this story.
I don't think any of
like,
them are good, so
well,
but God bless them, they're still trying.
you know what?
They're still trying.
Amen.
Bless their
Okay.
hearts.
I have 2 more questions. These are about Christmas traditions and different areas of the world.
I'm ready.
Which country has the Yuletide tradition of building a 40-foot goat? Is it Sweden? Is it Switzerland? Is it England?
Let's say Sweden.
Oh, I'm going Switzerland.
Switzerland, Sweden. Final answers?
Yeah.
Final answer.
It's Sweden, Miss Ashcass. I was with you. I feel like I would have said Switzerland. I don't know why. It just felt right.
Because they're in the Alps and there's tons of goats in the Alps.
I know,
I thought
right?
there was. I've never been to the Alps.
We're guessing. Every year, villagers in a small Swedish town called Gavl, I'm not saying that right, Gavl, build a 40-foot straw goat as part of a Yuletide tradition. But pretty much every year since the tradition began in 1966, locals have succeeded in destroying it by either burning it down, hitting it with their cars, or stealing it with a helicopter on more extreme years. Which just makes me love the Swedes for just like,
Oh my goodness.
like how big can we go this year with our straw
Yeah.
goat? How do we steal it?
There's like it's like a thing to steal the goat, and there's been some
who can do it the best?
there's been some like really, really insane. I know they set up like webcams on the goat now to try and catch people stealing them. I know this
That's
story.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Do they want people to steal the goat?
They didn't originally, but it's kind of just turned into that. It's not at all how it started, but because it became tradition and people were getting like crazier and crazier, now it's kind of part of it. But for the most part, it became like a Burning Man thing. It was like this big 40-foot goat that like got burned every Christmas. So like it's kind of a part of it now, but hilarious.
I'd watch a giant 40-foot goat being burned.
Hell
Why
yeah.
not? What else am I doing?
It'd be like a midsummer celebration. Absolutely.
every pagan celebration has some kind of big bonfire, so
Something's
it
burning.
We do love fire.
No, we're here for it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. In final question.
Yes.
I'm trying to do Who Wants to Be a
Who
Millionaire?
wants to be?
I don't know.
A millionaire.
A millionaire. In South Wales, a villager is chosen every year to parade around town holding what? A set of antlers with Christmas bells. B, a horse's skull decorated with ribbons. Or C, a cat skull on a pole with pine leaves sticking out of the eyes.
Horse's skull
I'm
with
going with
ribbons.
Cat skull.
Final answer, cat skull,
Final.
horse's skull. The answer is B, a horse's skull decorated with ribbons.
Felt good
I
about
tried
that
to
one,
be
too.
extra detailed in the cat skull one to throw people off, so you did fall into my trap.
It was the pine. It really
I
got
know.
me.
I've
You
seen
got me.
photos of the horse skull with ribbons. It's actually terrifying.
see,
So
it is so scary.
So scary.
It is so terrible.
They don't try to make it pretty.
Nope.
No.
No.
They're like ribbons. No, it's terrible. So it is the wassailing folk of South Wales have a custom that a villager is chosen and they parade around with a horse's skull decorated with ribbons mounted on a pole, and they just hop it up and down through the streets, and a white sheet drapes from the back of the horse's head and it covers the person who's holding the skull. So they just look like a phantom. I don't like it. Merry Christmas.
Merry
I
Christmas,
love
everyone.
it. Merry Christmas. Would you want to be the person holding
I
the
would.
horse head?
I would.
Yeah.
But is it an honor to be chosen as the person to hold the horse skull? Or
That's
is it
what
just
I
like a
couldn't
random
find.
person?
I don't know. Like I need to do more research, to be honest. But from like the little bit that I saw, it like every website just said they're chosen. It almost seems like you have to enter to be chosen. I don't think it's like the most honorable person in
Are they
town.
Is there
sacrificed
campaigning
afterwards?
involved? Yeah.
I don't think you have to
I wanna-
campaign for it. You're not being
I'm hoping
voted
like
in.
the campaign gets really dirty, like you don't
I
want
know.
that guy. Like, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want this guy over here. He can't be under the sheet. Yeah, it seems like
drop it.
you try to get yourself in there, a little bit of a contest. And I would absolutely want to be the person under the sheet, especially because I think it is way worse to be an audience member. That is spooky as hell.
Then you don't
So
have to
I'd
look at
rather
it.
be-
Yeah.
Do we want to wrap up this episode with a scary Christmas story?
Yes, we do.
Please.
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 Please,
It's my only
Sal.
Christmas
Sal,
wish
I
this year.
want more.
Okay, this story comes to us from Reddit user Land O'Lakes94. Love that username.
Ooh, like the butter?
Yes, just like
alright.
the butter. Land O'Lakes94 writes, in college, my roommate and I were decorating for Christmas in the living room while listening to the Justin Bieber Christmas album.
Good choice.
Great choice.
Love that.
The living room and kitchen shared a wall, but we couldn't see into the kitchen from our position in the living room. Halfway through Silent Night, we both simultaneously jerked our heads up and stared at each other because we both could clearly hear the sound of an off-key man belting out the song from the kitchen alongside Justin Bieber's voice. We both jumped to our feet and ran into the kitchen, at which point the voice immediately stopped. We replayed the song over and over and couldn't hear anything that would explain what we heard the first time. I've never believed in anything paranormal, but we were both convinced we had a friendly, Christmas-loving ghost living with us after that.
A believer
No.
Christmas loving
Nope,
ghost.
nope.
No.
I do love that the ghost
I hate
knows the words to Justin Bieber Christmas album, but so much nope.
Yeah.
I'ma
So
be
much
under
nope.
the mistletoe. That's the Justin
I'ma
Bieber
be
song that I'm
under
thinking
the
of.
mistletoe is the Ugh.
Oh,
Yikes.
I
Yeah, no.
hate that.
Yeah,
So,
that's
Like,
a rough one.
The idea of someone being in your home, like, already is terrifying enough, and then would you be more scared if somebody was there or wasn't there?
Well, that's the interesting
guess
thing.
was
This
there.
is something that like they've done
Ooh.
studies on, and like when you ask women and men, like, would you be more scared to have a ghost in your house or like an intruder, like a human intruder in your house? And
Mhm.
most women say intruder and most men say
Mhm.
ghost.
Yep.
Oh,
I fully
okay.
believe that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
would say
really can't
intruder.
decide which is worse. I mean, if it's a Casper situation, great, but like
Oh.
I
how
don't want to fuck
rare
with
are
like a
those?
poltergeist.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
No, for
Ugh.
sure. I mean, I'm not like stoked if there's a creepy ghost in my apartment, but intruder takes the
Yeah.
cake. I am always just
That'd be
so
worse.
scared somebody
That
will
would be
bust up in
worse.
here. Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
That gave me the Christmas creeps.
Yeah, that's a real
Christmas
Christmas creep
creeps.
situation. I have one more little Christmas horror tidbit that you might not know. Have you guys seen, hopefully you guys can see this. This is one of the most famous photographs ever taken of a supposed ghost. It's known as the Brown Lady of Raynham Hall. Have you guys seen this before, this photo?
No.
No, I don't think so.
This like phantom on the staircase?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It's one of the most famous paranormal photos ever taken. It's called the Brown Lady of Raynham Hall. But what a lot of people don't know is that she's mostly seen at Christmas time.
Aw.
Christmas
Good for
ghost.
her.
I know.
Yeah.
The Brown Lady of Raynham Hall, it literally has been around forever. Back in the 1700s, the owner of Raynham Hall, Charles Townsend, married a young woman named Dorothy Walpole, and they lived together for quite a while in Raynham Hall. But this man, Charles Townsend, soon became paranoid. His new wife was being unfaithful to him, eventually driving himself mad with jealousy. He actually decided to hide Dorothy away in the home and told all of her friends and family that she died. But she actually was just held in this home, held in this house, in the mansion. She was allowed only to wander through the halls. She was never allowed to leave again. And eventually she passed, never having left again. And ever since her passing, people have witnessed the image of a woman in a tattered brown dress wandering through the halls. One visitor actually said, and they were not aware of the Brown Lady legend.
Sure.
They approached a woman in the hall only to have her look at him with a glowing face, but where her eyes should have been, there were only sockets.
Ooh.
Oof. Years
That's a
later,
sneaky eye.
after numerous reported sightings, a photographer from Country Life magazine visited Raynham Hall to document it for an article. And after a photograph of the central, he took a picture of the central stairwell. And that's the photo that is famous. Literally, if you buy a book on hauntings, you will see this picture.
Like that's the thing.
what's
It
there.
looks
I mean,
really
it's
familiar, but like I couldn't
Yeah.
place
Yeah.
it or anything.
yeah, I would never be able to say, well, it's that.
Yep.
And that
Is it
it's
weird?
spooky as hell.
It just made me so sad to hear that like she was confined to this house in life, and now that like in the afterlife she's still confined there. That makes me very sad. I'm hoping it's that kind of thing you guys talk about where it's like energy imprinting.
Residual.
So maybe she roamed the halls enough
That
alive
it's not
that it's
actually
just
her. She could
I
have
know.
passed
I hope.
on.
I
I
hope she
know.
got out of there. Oh,
What
I
is
also hope
season
she's still-
2 after Haunting of Hill House? Because this
Bly
reminds
Manor?
me of the Lady of the
Yeah.
Lake at Bly Manor,
Oh,
how she was
yeah.
so ill
Yeah.
and kind of
Yep.
hidden away, and then her husband was kind of starting a relationship with the sister because he's like, you're useless to me. And then she was just like ill in bed for years until she finally passed and then just dragged people down with her into the water. That's that's the vibes it gave me. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
It's not
Damn.
a happy Christmas ghost. That's just a sad Christmas ghost.
Yeah, so she's not technically, the Brown Lady of Raynham Hall is not technically a Christmas ghost, but sightings ramp up around
seen.
Christmas time. Now, whether that's because of the Christmas holiday or the veil is thinner around Christmas time, much like it is around, Samhain and Halloween,
Makes
which
sense.
is why Christmas scary stories are a thing, which a lot of people kind of forget that telling scary stories at Christmas time is a tried and true
Is a tradition, around a
much more
campfire,
popular tradition. Yeah,
It still is in a lot of places, and I think that is so fun that people treat Christmas as a spooky time because, like, obviously we're here for
Well,
it.
and I think a lot of people
Yes,
kind of
please.
don't I mean, it's not that they don't realize, it's just that they like have seen it so many times that they don't think about it. But A Christmas Carol is literally a
It's
haunting.
ghosts. It's a ghost
many
story.
ghosts
Yeah.
visiting Ebenezer
He
Scrooge.
was haunted as hell.
Yeah, he's
Not
so
one,
haunted.
not two, but three
Three.
ghosts.
Technically 4 if you count Marley.
And Lord, they were a little scary.
Yeah.
They weren't not
They
scary.
were pretty scary.
I'll tell you that
I
much.
remember you brought up Scrooged earlier, and like I love that movie now, but like that Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come.
Future.
Ugh. I hate it. I hate it.
Lord. Even the Ghost of Christmas Future in A Muppet Christmas Carol is terrifying.
You better
It's
believe the
so
blanket
scary.
was pulled up this high.
Yeah,
and I was
it's
like,
not
I
good.
can do it.
I'm not
I
over
can
it.
finish it.
To watch this movie.
No.
I want to
Okay.
hang out with Gonzo and Rizzo. I want to go where they go during
Like
that
the lamp, not the
Where's
rat.
Gonzo
Like the
at?
lamp, not the rat. Okay. Well, that is all the time we have this season
Ooh.
on Keep It Weird. Thank you all
Ah,
so much for joining us today and for this entire year, 2023.
for season 7.
Wow.
It was not the easiest
Season
year,
7.
okay? But
Oof.
that's fine.
It was a bit of a crap year, but we had fun with you.
We had fun with you,
We
and
did.
we're,
Yeah.
we're all the more
Yeah.
prepared for 2024 now because 2023
Thicker
was
skin.
such a fucking
Mm-hmm.
dump truck of a
Mhm.
year.
We're ready.
Okay, some of us had babies in 2023.
Okay, some of us
so
had
we're-
I
amazing
know.
years in 2023.
I know.
Okay.
If you birthed a baby, you had a great 2023.
Birthing a baby was no picnic, but the rest of the year for me was
But
the
it
baby,
is
magical.
yeah.
the Regina
Yes.
Gina year, and we are so
Regina
happy
Gina.
she's here.
Oh. Yeah, she's so
Huge,
cute.
huge thank you to Laura. Thank you so much for joining us today and for being our
Guys,
resident
it was my
witch.
pleasure.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
guys,
Witchy Wednesday.
thank you for having
Of
me.
course.
It's always the highlight of my week. Well, again, I had a baby, so no, she's the highlight of my week. But I really,
Fair.
I like
But I love
it's a lot of fun.
Wednesdays.
Honestly, if I didn't have it, I would not be like practicing my craft as much as I would. So seriously, it's so much fun, and I love doing it for you guys, and I love getting to chat with you guys.
Yeah,
This is
you
always
have
so
to
much
come
fun and
on
great.
more now that we're like really in the groove. Now that we like have the videos down, we gotta have at least, we should have like a full moon visit from you. It's like
We do need
5
that.
times
Yeah,
a
you
year.
need to be
we
on
need
more
you to come on
episodes.
and
Yeah,
bless
come on
us.
every time.
Yes.
I'm
I like
there.
that. I
I'm
like
there.
that.
We'll make our moon water together.
Yes. Oh my God. Make sure that you are following us on social media at Keep It Weirdcast so you can join in for Witchy Wednesdays with Laura here at Leaves and Lore. That's at leaves_and_lore on Instagram. Every single Wednesday we teach you, and by we I mean Laura, teaches you how to make your days more witchy. Very easy spells, candle magic, food magic, bath magic, life magic. It's wonderful. And then on your personal Instagram, you share even more lovely witchy smells.
Smells.
Probably.
Smells.
Witchy
There's
smells.
probably some smells and spells.
Make sure you check out our Patreon because we will be posting episodes this month, January and February. Even when we're not posting on our main site, we will be posting on Patreon. So if you're bored and you're sad with no new episodes to listen to, head to
We got you.
patreon.com/keepitweirdpodcast and donate to our show, and you will get bonus episodes. Are you guys ready? Come, they told bees, buzz, 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 buzz. I'm a bumblebee, buzz, 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 buzz. Okay, it's time for Hive Mind. We are playing with Zener cards today.
This is my first Hive Mind. I'm so excited.
I'm going to be
you'll probably be better than
a
us.
psychic
it's time to put my witchy money where my mouth is, right? If I don't get these, how embarrassing.
As a reminder,
which is different from medium. You're
That's
okay.
very
You're
true.
all right.
these are the symbols. Plus sign.
Oh,
Squiggle,
and this is
square,
an important
star,
reminder because Ashley and I
X.
get them wrong a lot.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I feel like Ghostbusters again will
is.
help with this.
Yes. I'm going to actually see the card myself, and I'm going to try and send you this image psychically. Ooh, one just popped out, and that's the one I'm going to use, just like a tarot card. Are you ready to receive my psychic message?
Yep.
So ready?
Here we go, and... Okay, what do you guys think? What kind of card is it?
I'm seeing squiggle lines every time I close my eyes.
I'm saying plus sign.
Okay. Well, it's not our Christmas.
Not even close.
A Christmas star!
That's what I was imagining in my head. I was imagining the star on top of the Christmas tree. Here's the thing, Laura.
Wise men, we are not.
Wise men, we are not. Lauren and I have really,
We're not the Magi. We are not the Magi.
The three Magi, we are not.
Listen, this is how I'm going to try to say that it was right. The star at the top of our tree is kind of like a simplistic star. It kind of looks like a plus sign. I don't know. No, it doesn't work.
You know what?
I'm sorry.
We
got it wrong.
I saw an equal sign, so I was like, oh, it's an equal sign. And then I was like, I don't think there was an equal sign. So
which again, that's how we are every time we do it. The other day we did it and I was like, a cloud. I see a cloud.
Yeah.
That's not
it was a circle.
Were there any... Circle was the thing that popped up first. And then I remembered that I just looked into my ring light and I was like, well,
I do that all the time.
Ooh.
I literally do that all the time where I close my eyes and I'm like, I see circles everywhere. And it's just my fucking makeup light. Anyways, thank you everyone for joining us. Merry Christmas. Have a blessed Yule. Have a very, very happy holiday New Year. Oh my God.
Oh man, you made it the whole episode.
I know, they were so good.
We're falling
I
apart.
hope the beginning of your 2024 is glorious. We love you.
We love you so
We
much.
appreciate you.
Happy solstice, happy Yule, happy New Year, all the happy.
Keep it weird.